Hey y'all, it's Stacy. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we are going to make pulled pork and collard green egg rolls. I don't know that it gets any more southern than that, but I'm gonna do you one better. We're gonna dip those in an Alabama white barbecue sauce. So that's where we're gonna start. I've got about a half a cup of mayonnaise here in a large bowl. To this, I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of Creole mustard. You could also use a spicy brown mustard. This is about a clove of garlic that we've minced, a half a teaspoon of prepared horseradish, about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. You could always add a little bit more if you wanted to. And this is about a tablespoon of white vinegar. We're just gonna whisk this together, get all those flavors combined, and then we're gonna wanna sit this aside, even in the fridge for a little while, just to allow those flavors to get a little happy together. And then we're gonna make our egg rolls. So, super simple. I've got about a pound of pulled pork here. Now, you can run to the grocery store and buy one of those packages in the produce section of the sauceless pulled pork. You can run to your favorite barbecue joint and pick up a pound of pulled pork. Or there's even a recipe with this recipe on the website where you can make some pulled pork in the slow cooker, whatever it is that you want to do. I've got about a pound of egg roll wrappers here, and when you're working with those, you want to keep a moist paper towel over them because they dry out very quickly and will start to break. All right, super simple. To make this, we're going to take about 2 tablespoons of our pulled pork, and we've got this turned at an angle just a little, about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of our collard greens. These are just canned collard greens. You don't have to tell anybody. If you've got leftover homemade ones, you can use those too. I'm using a little water here just to moisten the edges of our egg roll wrapper so that this is all gonna stick together. Now I will tell you, the first couple of these that you're gonna make, you're probably gonna wanna toss them because it takes a little skill to figure out how to make this work. But if you watch closely, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this end that we didn't put the water on, I'm gonna slide it over almost to the edge and then pull back tightly, keeping this just as tight as we can here. I'm gonna fold these sides in and just keep rolling it up. And the moisture, the water that we put on there is gonna help these stay together. We're gonna sit these aside, let them sit for just a few minutes so that they're good and sealed before we put them in our oil. Talking about our oil here, I've got about 4 inches of vegetable oil or peanut oil heated to somewhere between 350 and 360. We're gonna cook these 4 to 5 minutes or until they're golden brown. You can see just how beautiful these pop up. Now, if deep frying is not your thing, these can be air fried and they can be done in the oven. In the oven, you'll wanna spritz them with a little non-stick cooking spray and they'll bake for about 30 minutes. In the air fryer, you probably wanna spritz them with a little of that non-stick cooking spray too. 360 degrees is about where you wanna be with the air fryer, and they're gonna cook for 4 to 6 minutes, sometimes a little bit more. You're gonna wanna flip them about halfway through. Folks, when these are done, they're super delicious. Dip them in that white barbecue sauce, and you've got a perfect snack, appetizer, tailgate. You're really gonna impress with these pulled pork and collard green egg rolls. Y'all, you can find this full recipe and tons more on my website at southernbite.com. Y'all enjoy.
You know, I've never considered egg rolls a southern dish, but you don't get much more southern than pulled pork and collard greens, so I guess that qualifies.
It does, and further proof is that Reese Witherspoon, one of the most famous southern actresses of our time, had Stacy develop that recipe for a football tailgate party for her lifestyle company, Draper James.
I don't think I've ever had anything like it, but I can verify it's good. Thank you to the Alabama pork producers for sponsoring this recipe with a name so long we don't have time to repeat it again.
That's because we're out of time. Y'all join us again next week to meet a woman who wanted to learn to make cookies mainly because they're difficult. Now she's made it her full-time job.
And if you're looking for a fun challenge, try raising chickens, but don't do it only if you expect it to help you avoid the high price of eggs. I'm Kevin Worthington.
And I'm Mary Wilson. We'll see you next time.
Simply Southern is produced by the Alabama Farmers Federation and made possible with the support of Alabama Farmers Cooperative and these sponsors.